I hope so.
The hell? What's that music playing?
That's the Roll 20.
Let's see.
Oh, is that Roll
I
20?
see you on Twitch.
Well, alright then. That means I don't have to do the music.
I don't have music on.
Welcome to the D&D Legend of the Four Warriors campaign. I am your host, Myla Minoki, and welcome.
Truth be told, I can barely hear you over this.
Yeah, Shadow, your music is really freaking loud. And we're
Nope.
hearing it, I think, over TeamSpeak.
As per our normal campaign, let's get the music where it needs to be. There we go. Alright. But yes, welcome to the nunfuckery that is the Legend of the Four Warriors campaign. Which technically we have 5. Numbers are arbitrary. Alright, so...
Aren't they always?
We're here with our illustrious band of adventurers, and, so, yay.
Yay!
But yes, it is, is everybody cool with the levels? Everybody cool with the levels?
Yep.
Sounds good to me.
Alright. So, this is...
Shadow, your stream's hiccuping a lot.
My favorite, opening numbers. So.
I can't do anything about it just yet. Until we hit break.
Here we go. But yes, so alright, so where we last left our heroes, I gotta get a shorter version of that for the intro.
Yeah.
But where we last left our wonderful heroes, they had been, they got themselves into Whitestone, which is a port town south of Hexos, the original start city. Wait, can't do anything about what?
Don't worry about it. Keep going.
Okay. South of Hexos, they got to Whitestone, following various leads, dealing with the poisonings in Hexos, as well as this artifact known as simply the Heart. It's an artifact that they managed to come across, found out that this artifact was sought for and stolen by a drow by the name of Sharina, from Yavik's father, who she confirmed that at least a year ago he was in fact alive. They fought their way through the bowels of the Hexos College, got the piece of the heart, found out that there was some stuff going on in Whitestone, came south down to here, fought a couple of gnolls on the way, killed some bandits, got a queen spider egg, which was really cool. Got south down to here, met up with a person on a ship by the name of Gilly, who is also a fellow Aarakocran, who immediately hit it off with our party Aarakocran and Yavik. They became really quick friends, despite despite Gilly's
Jar Jar Binksness.
They parted ways on good terms. The next morning, they go down there to the docks, and they find out that Gilly's entire crew had been killed by the person looking for the artifact that his company had acquired, which turned out later to be the second piece of the heart. Gilly was taken back to the temple to heal his injuries. Meanwhile, Miria and the gang found a person by the name of Mimsy Hairborn, who is one of the nobles here in Whitestone. His assistant March, who is in fact a rabbit, with unusually high intelligence. Miria befriended March. She found out that he had been experimented on, possibly either by magical or some alchemical means, in order to both increase his intelligence and cause him to be able to communicate a little better than a normal rabbit would. She stopped Mimsy from doing a bunch of really terrible experiments. He seemed rather distraught over something, and so that's what happened with Mimsy. They met up with a person by the name of Lignite while fighting their way through the caverns underneath the castle, at the request of Mimsy. because his family deals with that kind of stuff. So Lignite is also a friend of the Hairborn family, an on again, off again employee. So they fought their way through the cavern, had an adventure, came back out. In the middle of that, Yavik,
Got smashed.
partially because of the stress of his girlfriend coming to town in the next day or so, partially because of everything that he's been dealing with his father, coming up empty-handed on several occasions, getting just that close, and then not being able to succeed in finding him. Lignite's arrival was kind of the last straw. Aaron Cochran's beings of air do not like beings of earth. They have a unrealistic prejudice, and that's just something that's innate to their race. They're always told, since children that, rock monsters are bad. They're often attacked by gargoyles, and, there's been that kind of animosity, which it happens. So Lignite's arrival was kind of the last straw for Yavik. He had headed back to the bar while the rest of the team journeyed through the rest of the catacombs, and that's where he sits. A couple of hours, and Yavik, we're gonna go to you first. You headed back to the bar, disgruntled, and everything.
Grumble.
You're sitting there for a couple of hours, and then a young woman, dressed in robes, priest robes, comes in, kind of looks around for a minute, sees you, and kind of walks over and goes, "Excuse me."
You got business there, Jack?
And she says, "Yes, your friend, was asking for you at the temple."
I have a lot of strange friends. Can you be more specific? It's kind of been a long day.
Gilly?
Ah, that one. How the hell is Gilly doing?
He actually is awake, and he wanted to speak with you.
Hell yeah, let's do this. Well, freaking take me to him.
Yeah, she leads you back out of the bar, very, very glad to be out of there. Because, this is a bar in a port town, there's a lot of unsavory characters, kind of. So she leads you, she's one of the nuns.
Oh,
She leads you back to the temple.
While we're walking towards the temple, I ask her, it's like, what's the conditions for Javik while we're on our way there? I mean, what's the conditions for Gilly? What's the conditions for Gilly as we walk there? I'm conversating with the gentleman.
She goes, he's awake, he's stable. We don't want him leaving his bed, so, he requested your presence, and so I came and got you.
You've been feeding the guy. I know that guy can kind of put it away.
Yes, he's keeping very nourished. He's eaten through 30 good berries in the past hour, which is
I hope
more than what normal people are.
I hope that's not gonna run me a bill now, is it?
Oh no. Healing is what we do.
Okay.
It's our calling in life.
Well, last thing I need is Gilly making me broke again. All right, moving on. Let's go.
And so he leads you back into the temple, back up to the second floor, where Gilly's laid out, and you see that he's got the bindings on his back, on his wings. You see that his right shoulder, whereas before you didn't notice that there was any bindings on it, but you can tell that there's been some sort of salve or some sort of wrappings and herbs kind of put on his arm. So they probably found something that the first couple of minutes where you guys were there, because you weren't there really long. So he's propped up in bed and with pillows and everything, and as you come over, he's like, Yavik, hey.
Jesus, Gilly. Just give me a second, I'll be right there. And that's when I kind of just sit beside him on the bed, just kind of look at him. Like, how you going there, big guy?
He's like, the nuns want me to at least for the next day or so. Can't really move my wing. Which, a little disconcerting, but it probably just needs time to heal.
Well, think about it this way. You can't really argue with all these pretty faces freaking working around the clock and tending to your wounds.
And he's like, yeah, on the boat, I don't really get this kind of attention. Everybody kind of avoids me.
Well, hey, live it up, brother. Freaking hell, you might even get lucky.
Hey!
And
I'm talking to my friend.
He kind of looks around at all the nuns and he's like, I don't think
No.
they'd be my type.
Ah, come on. You never know. Things happen.
And he kind of snickers to you and he goes, no worries. Maybe I'll find a girl back home.
Gil, you need to learn how to have more fun.
And he's
Shadow!
like, he kind of smiles and laughs a little. And he's like, yeah, yeah, that's part of the reason why you're here. I wanted to let you know that with the crew all gone, I'm probably going home.
Going home? I figured you'd be freaking running around with me and my merry bunch. I mean, I can use a laugh or two every now and again on my journeys, and you're a real good guy, Gilly. I like you. You're all right.
I appreciate it, Yavik, but yeah, this is having Mary getting killed and everybody else. Sorry, not Mary, Anne. Having Anne getting killed and everybody else. I've got a little bit of a shell shock combat kind of guy.
Well, Gilly, I'll let you know first thing, man. I'm not gonna forget you and your goofy self, but we need to talk some business before you leave. Freaking, I know you're a busy person, you got things to take care of, but freaking, you were kind of freaking, out of it, and you couldn't give us a whole lot of information on that nice little trinket you handed us earlier. You were pretty busted up. Now that you're, alive, stable, and well, I was wondering if there's anything more you can recap on.
Well, that's another reason why I called you here is that I'm starting to remember a lot of what happened.
Good. All right, we'll sit down, take a deep breath, and let's start. Drop it by the numbers. What can you tell me?
You say sit down, and it kind of looks down at his bed. I'm already sitting down.
Don't be smart with me, Gilly. Just start talking.
Javik's a little bit special.
And he goes, okay, so, like I said, I took the box. When you guys were all having that commotion and everything outside, that's when I took it. I went in there, I cast my spell, I took the box, I hit it, and then that's when I jumped in front of that one guy, is because I didn't want to make myself look suspicious by not, showing myself. So that's why I jumped down to take the hit, is because I wanted to distract her because of the fact that I had already taken it.
Okay. Alright.
So I get back on the boat and I head down to my quarters, which are, down in the bowels with everybody else's. Well, I was just really nervous about bringing the box out, so I just kind of curled up and went to sleep for a bit. And the next thing I remember, when I was waking up and there was a lot of yelling and a lot of shouting. And so I came up to the top of the boat to see what was going on, and I saw this guy. I think it was a guy. He was in these black robes, like all decked out. Like I could barely see his face at first. And he had this giant sword. Like it was almost as big as he was. And he started yelling, and then he took a swing at Anne. Anne shot him, but then he just kept swinging. I went forward with my spells to try and get him off of her, but I missed, and I blew up. It's part of the reason the front of the ship got all messed up, is because I tried to hit him and missed. And from the sounds of it, as he's explaining to you, that's why the front of the ship, when you guys went in there, where the desk and where the captain's quarters, that's why it was just blasted apart, is because he tried to use his spells and hit
the barrel of gunpowder. Yeah.
So he said, and then, well, what he did was he went after me because spellcaster kind of makes me a bit of a target. Well, and then he jumped at me, and that's when I saw his face. And you see this look of fear come across his face, and he just kind of looks at you, and he's not sure how to say it, and